we come to you with a particular international issue that affects us, that we seek the understanding of the people of Colombia for. And indeed, as your colleagues join, we can probably cover some of the same ground. My colleagues can also join into the conversation. But let me just begin by saying very briefly that what brings us here, all of us diverse members of Parliament, is a united message in defense of our country. We have been subject for many decades now to repeated terrorist attacks from across the border from our neighboring country, Pakistan. On the 22nd of April this year, there was one more that really was in many ways the last straw for us, when 26 innocent holidaymakers, tourists, were shot dead in the territory of Kashmir. And shot dead in cold blood, profiled for their religion, and told so, and their families were spared so they could go back and give the bad news that their husbands had been killed because of their religion. It was a very, very ugly terrorist attack. And in this particular instance, we have decided that we cannot let this crime go unpunished. We have taken very serious action after 2 weeks during which no effort was made in Pakistan to apprehend these people who are enjoying safe haven there. We decided to strike a number of terrorist sites, well-known, established headquarters, bases, training centers, and launch pads of organizations on the list of the United Nations Sanctions Committee terrorist list, all of which are also identified as designated terrorists by the US government. So these are not innocent people. In fact, when we chose these targets, our government was very careful not to take, even by accident, any Pakistani government target, any civilian target, or even any Pakistani military target. It was only terrorist camps. And we struck them with great precision. We did so at night from 1:05 to 1:30 in the middle of the night, so that there would be minimal risk of collateral damage to any civilians. No civilians were likely to be around at that time. And I'm glad to say the strikes were so precise that there was no collateral damage. Only the terror headquarters were hit. Now, when this happened, Mr. President, we also issued a statement to the world saying what we had done, explaining how we had chosen these targets, and saying that if Pakistan did not respond, because this was merely a retaliation for the terrorist attack and nothing else, there would be no further action from the Indian side. Unfortunately, Pakistan did choose to retaliate with indiscriminate artillery shelling across our borders that again killed 19 civilians and injured 59 more. And these were people who are again innocent people. There were nuns in the convent of the Carmelites of Mother Mary. There were worshippers in a Sikh temple, a Gurudwara. There were people at their homes. There were children. There were people on the streets. It was a truly criminal act. So India responded equally hard with our own artillery. Pakistan sent us drones and missiles, which we blocked through our air defenses, and we hit them back with 11 additional strikes. And these 11 strikes were on military targets. There are satellite pictures publicly available showing damage to the runways of airfields controlled by the Pakistan military, including one not far from their army headquarters. And after 88 hours of this exchange of fire, the Pakistanis reached out to us and said they would like to stop. We said, we told you, if you hit, we hit. If you stop, we stop. And so we stopped. But this is something which we feel the world needs to understand. We were a bit disappointed, as I said to the Vice Foreign Minister at the Foreign Ministry today, with the statement issued by Colombia at that time, which expressed condolences and sympathy for the people in Pakistan rather than for the victims of terrorism in India. We have been told by the Foreign Ministry, by the Vice Minister, that that statement has now been withdrawn, that they had not fully understood the situation, and we're very pleased that statement has been withdrawn, because today, after a very detailed discussion, we were able to conclude the meeting with the government understanding very well that there was no equivalence possible between terrorists and tourists, between victims of terror and perpetrators of terror, between those who are attacking and those who are defending themselves. We have a right to self-defense, and that's all we were exercising. And we are very pleased that the government seems to have understood this message, and we would like Congress, you would like your assembly to understand this message as well. We are a peace-loving nation, Mr. President. We are interested in our own growth and development. The big adventure in India since our independence has been to pull our people out of poverty, give them opportunities to grow and